On June 24th, Traquan Smith of the New Orleans Saints presents his youth football camp at Pompey Park in Delray Beach, Florida. You can register your kids at TraquanSmithFoundation.org. That's TraquanSmithFoundation.org. It's free for everyone, so be sure to bring all your kids out, right? There will be NFL players there that will be educating them on life and life in the NFL and how to play the game. So you want to make sure you bring out all your kids if you're in South Florida, or even if you're not in South Florida, you want to bring your kids to the Traquan Smith Youth Football Camp. All right, that's on June 24th at Pompey Park in Delray Beach.
All right, so back to the podcast.
No child, one child,
Yeah.
5 children. Every kid is different.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Every kid is different. 5 children. Out of my 5, one of them stayed just like me. I would never, and you laughing trap because you know what I'm talking about. I would never, because he's been like an uncle for many years for my kids.
Yeah.
I would never ever use the word my child is bad because she is one of my most accomplished child. I think I hate to use the word problem, but she was more, give me a word,
Rebellious?
not even that, I never want to use that because she was definitely not rebellious.
Stubborn?
Stubborn.
Right.
She was more stubborn, and you know what it is? She reminded me, she was me.
Exactly.
She was me. And then I have my other daughter that from she came out, a child never cried. When she wet, need to eat, you don't never know. When she started school, teachers would call me and say, she need therapy. Because she was always quiet and reserved.
Because she don't talk.
Because she don't talk, but that is who she always was. And I remember I used to be so frustrated with it. I'm like, talk, what's wrong? Talk your mind. You got to speak. You know, I remember she was even getting bullied on the bus. And she never told me. Because my opinion, them know, I'm sorry, y'all, when it comes to my kids, I'm a thumb off face.
Yeah.
So she was getting bullied and she wouldn't even say nothing. And it was the bus driver that dropped her off to the bus stop that said it to me one day. And they would pull her, she wouldn't say nothing. So I got so upset one day and I went out there the next day and I remember when we got home, Mama said, why you not talk? Open your mouth. Why am I saying all of that? Every kid that you have to learn to deal with it a different way. And like what Stretch said, growing up in a house where my parents disciplined us, go in your room. My mom was the soft one. My mother way of, when you get in trouble, she twist your lip. My father was the one that would take out a belt and beat you. My mom hated to watch her kids get hit. And so we didn't get a lot of beatings, I won't lie. But when me raising my 5, and at the time, after leaving my kid's father, being a single mom, doing all of that, you have to put down, you can't communicate conversation with every child.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I have twins now. One of them, I can sit down and talk to him just like I'm talking to y'all, like you feel like it's a big man. Sometimes I have to say, him is a real person. What's happening?
Yeah.
Seriously, it made me cry the other day. I even interviewed him on my podcast. And the other one.
Yeah, serious.
What do you mean? So why is it no? Why can't I go? But why?
Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah.
Why? And it's like you get to the point where you just want.
Yeah, frustrated.
Yeah.
You get so frustrated. Shut up.
Yeah.
But there's a way to communicate with them
But
too.
I've learned that.
Yeah.
I've learned a way to communicate with them because what I was doing, and again, thank you God for my great husband. My husband would say to me, Safi, yeah, talk to them,
Yeah.
but you're not listening to them.
You're talking
So
at them a lot
all
of
you're
times,
doing
too.
is the parenting, put on your foot, no, it's no, me don't need to tell you why, no. I'm saying, baby, remember, so them get older now. So it give them an understanding of why we're saying no.
Yeah.
And me say, no, me the mother.
Daddy's
no.
gonna get to that.
Because that's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
When my mother and father said no, you don't get to ask.
No, you don't care how old
What
you
you
are.
mean? They don't care how old you are. What you mean, why?
And I was raised that
I
way
said,
too.
no, you're not going.
Right.
But mommy, my son would be like, well, mom, why I can't go? But I get all A's. Or what he said to me the other day, we're 18 and we can't stay out late for prom. It's not. I think more for one of my twins, it's not even what he's saying.
Yeah, it's how he's saying it.
It's like him a page me.
Yeah.
That's your ego.
It's like him a page me.
That's your own ego. No?
I believe you. My husband. It's like him. Why? So someone said, who you talk to? It's like I go into my husband says, Safi, I'm not page, you know. That's the way I receive it.
Yeah.
And I would say, you need to back me up. And I'm saying, baby, I can't back you up. You know, my accessories in my ear, them can't stay out late. And I never said they couldn't stay out late. It was, they had a rental car.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, I cried, I said, this, my 20, am I supposed to drive rental car 18?
No, they can, yeah. You
No.
don't have to sign
As long as you
for
have a
it.
license.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
then I
as long
come
as you have a
okay, come on, I want to say it on camera.
as
All
long as you have a
right. So, but
license.
for me, I was like, okay, 18, they shouldn't be, you know, the car out so late. So I wanted them to come home after the prom, drop the car off, and then take for them car and go.
Okay.
So one of my page me with it like, and I'm using the word page. He was like, why we gotta come home early? And then it's like, they're 18 now, and they have this thing where them just assigned for football and all of that, and them boys get deep, and them have girlfriends now. And it's a whole nother podcast, but I'm so jealous of the girlfriend them and all that, you know. So I'm already feeling like I'm losing them.
Right.
Yeah.
And then now you coming to come page me like you're some man. So the other one is more understanding. He's like, all right, like the other one knows how to communicate with me. Text, talk, and you'll come talk to me. The other one, but I don't understand. But I'm saying, Ma, you said no, but why? So I said, come, I said no. But why? Because I get good grades, I'm not 18. I said no. But why? Someone said, yes, and then, you know, he's taller than me. He's like, what is he like? I don't even know. So Murphy, I look up now. So I got so mad. I said, me was stand up on the chair. Me was stand up. And my husband is like, what is wrong with you? He's not doing nothing. I said, me was beat you. Me was stand up on the chair. And I'm screaming like that. And then he's looking at me like, he's like, Ma, chill. Yeah. And that made me more angry. That made me more angry. You know, back in the days, like when your mom or your dad hit you.
And then on Facebook.
I say, where y'all run for? You want me to kill more?
Yeah.
I'm running because you're hitting me. And now that we're older, we look back at it like, you want something for ball for? Like, you're hitting me.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, he was like, you know, I'm gonna say, size me? Give me the chair. Give me the chair. And he was like, Ma, chill. I'm not sizing you. Whatever y'all
And he's just keeping this nice mellow tone.
Listen. And I was getting so mad. And I was like, I will take it back to Brooklyn Streets and I'll take you down. He said, you gonna take me down? I'm your son. And then I realized, now I'm looking back, I'm talking to y'all, I'm laughing. Yeah. But when I tell y'all, I was heated. Oh, I was heated.
You know what that remind me of? When we were too old to get the ass whooping, and my mom was like, yo, stop playing.
That's what he was doing.
He got even more mad.
Yes, it makes you more angry. And I'm like, and then I was so mad, I was like, you know what? You're not go back to prom. Go in your bed. Go in there. And then my husband was like, Safi, it's prom night. They're straight A students. I said, you're not helping. And him said, Safi, them I go. And I was just like, and then my other son was just looking at me. They were looking at me like I was crazy. And then when I got in the room, I said to my husband, and they looking at me like I'm crazy. And he said, well, me, I look by you like I'm crazy too. You just beat up your chest for no reason. But you know, when you get to go back and look at it.
Yeah.
But I say that to y'all, you haven't won, you're not having, let me tell y'all something. They come to bring out the best in you.
And the worst.
And the worst. So.
That's because you love them the most.
Oh, gosh.
They're able to push any button.
I walk on fire for them.
Yep.
But when I tell you I was ready to pump up the chest.
All right, so let's touch into something else that trauma messes up, which our relationships. Especially the relationship that you see with your parents.
Bartender.
That also how that affects you. A lot of people got abused younger. You got raped, you got molested, stuff like that changed who they are, especially in relationships. There was girls I was talking to that I couldn't put my arms around their neck because when they were abused, that's what happened.
So
that
sad.
traumatic thing. You cannot, spank them because.
You mean like sexually?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So both the way they want to spank somebody sexually.
Even
another subject.
Even not sexually. Even on a regular basis.
Let me fix my things.
Putting your arm around her neck, it was like a trauma. It was like too traumatic for her. You get what I'm saying? And there was more than one person that went through something like that. So it's like you realize that those little things, even with me, right? Seeing my parents argue and fight growing up, and my mom looked at me and said, "Don't ever treat no woman like that." That changed my whole perspective
Of women?
of how to go about relationships.
Yeah.
But even though I saw them fight and everything, she already let us know that this is not the example. This is not what it's supposed to be. You get what I'm saying? And that's very important to teach your kids.
Yeah. I wish my aunt told me that. Like, this is not love. This is not hitting your guy and
But
fighting.
you can't tell her that because she never know.
She never knew. Yeah, she never knew.
You get what I'm saying? She can't teach something she didn't know.
And relationships are a lot different now. Relationships are so much different where
It is.
where the dominance in the relationship a lot of times nobody is.
Yeah.
Because the man want to be the woman, and sometimes the woman want to be the man.
Yeah.
So.
But then you also have to understand, a woman, I remember when I got with my husband, I've always had, before him, with my kid's father, I always had to be the breadwinner, the this, the that, the independent person. So you have to understand that when you get with a man now that's doing everything for you, it's kind of like
You're not used to it.
you're not used to it. So I remember one of the conversations, we were dating for almost 2 years, and one day, I remember exactly what we were discussing, and him say, let me ask you a question. You are going to still wear the pants in this, or me start with
Right.
my coming understand? And when he said that to me, I was like, so because I'm an independent woman, he said, no,
that's
no.
not it.
And so I go, me are the man, so me have to wear the pants.
Allow him to.
But me feel like, you know, and
It's that humbleness that he has in him too.
baby, baby. When I tell you that God sent this man to fix me,
Yeah.
okay, fix me. When my mom used to use the word, y'all water, you my water and y'all fire. And I used to be like, you know, he really did. He changed my perspective on so many things. And he said, no, Safa, we can't do this. Me have to wear the pants. We cannot do this. And it was hard to let that go, because when you're used to doing for yourself, or when you've been with somebody that wasn't doing for you and you had to be the winner of everything.
had no choice.
You had no choice. So then when somebody comes in now and wants to do something for you, it's like, you mean you're gonna pay for everything?
What I would say,
Yeah.
what I would say to
This is what
that,
we're gonna- you know?
what I would say to that is a lot of times when we experience trauma, relationships, things like those, we exist in that space so long that it becomes our identity.
Normalcy. It becomes normalcy for us.
Yes, because it becomes a part of us. You know, I see a lot of women how they dress. You know, This episode of the Student to Life podcast is sponsored by Vintage Florists and Events. For the Valentine's Day flowers, for your Mother's Day flowers, for your Christmas, your anniversary, whatever you need these flowers for, these teddy bears, whatever arrangements, you could hit up Vintage Florists and Events.
Yes.
The number to call to make orders, place orders, or for more info is 754-423-4673. I see women get tattoos just to feel that pain.
Really?
Yeah, yes, just to feel the pain, they get tattoos very
Well,
often.
Miss
They get
Boiler.
piercings. They get piercings, you know, from the abuse. They're so used to that pain so long. These things, and that's why women cut themselves. Like, all these things are responses to what happened to them before, that trauma that happened to them. And a lot of people don't deal with that. They don't see no therapist. They don't deal with those feelings. They
don't talk
bottle
about it
up
at all.
inside.
Yeah.
And listen, but dealing with feelings is very hard. I'm a very open book. I mean, I'm a person, if you hurt me, I tell you. But when you're dealing with deeper things that, relationship-wise, again, and I'll go into mine, like I was dating a man that never spoke. And I'm this open book. And it was like pulling teeth, trying to get a conversation about just even something normal.
Yeah.
And as what Stretch said, is you have to understand, say, it never used to that. And here it is, I'm asking, we have to communicate. We have to talk about everything. This is who I am. I'm not gonna wonder, I'm not gonna guess, everything. And it was like asking him to jump off on one ship.
Right. Because it's not used to that.
Not used to it. And it took years. It literally took years. And I felt like now, sometimes I feel say, oh, this, oh, what
It's
talk to me?
different.
Yeah.
It's so different.
in that, did you find out if was that trauma for him, like not being able to open up and communicate, or was that just how he was born?
It was
That's how all of us are.
it was, that's exactly what Stretch said, but with my husband, it's a protecting seal.
So all of us are.
It's a protecting seal, because even to this day, it's kind of good in a little way, bad in relationships, but good in humanity. And when I say that is because a lot of the things I realize I go through in my life right now, I'm an open book, and I'm a, hi, how you doing? Hi. And people come back and hurt you.
Right.
My husband have up this big gate, you can't pass him. You cannot pass him.
That also starts from childhood.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's I wish I had that now. I'm telling you the truth, because it's a part of like he protects who he is that way.
Yeah.
You know, and I used to
like
fight.
you said, it's good and bad.
It's good and bad. Good and bad. Tell you the truth.
For us men, what I would say is, for us, with the way we were taught to deal with conflict, to deal with trauma, to deal with hurt, to deal with even showing feelings. We weren't taught never to cry, never to show our feelings. Don't be too soft. Because a lot of times growing up, you see a man buying flowers and doing these things, he's considered the soft guy.
Soft guy, true.
You know, and then it's who the woman go for. When you, like if you're growing up and the woman you want is going for the bad guy, you're probably gonna want to be that guy. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like if you don't teach your kids, especially to have a mind of their own,
They get caught up.
they will try to follow the crowd.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, it's this difference between follow the crowd and not being a part of it.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Big difference.
Because you can go in a direction where everybody's going with their dressing and stuff, but you're not a part of everything that they got going on. So you got to teach them that difference.
That separation part.
You get what I'm saying? And then as men, like I said, the crying thing now, being able to show emotion, we don't know, a lot of us don't know how to.
Yeah.
Our parents didn't teach us.
Or
Their
men,
parents didn't teach
or
them.
what I see with my husband and our sons is one of the things that even with my dad, you know, my dad never said I love you growing up, and again, I'm that open book. So when I got to like around 18, 19, I started saying that to my dad. He would have never said it back. He would have just said, yeah man, yeah man, just like that.
Yourself,
Yeah, man, you know. And I remember after he lost his son, and I said, Daddy, you ever tell Miguel say I love him? Him know. And I would say, relax, I'm not, you know. And now, over the years, I killed him with it. I love you.
Showered him in
I killed him with
it.
And now after my mom died, he really says it more. Before my mom died, because I'm the one my mom would say, talk to your father, because you know him still, you can't get to him. You know, I was the one that can kind of get to him.
Yeah, you have a soft spot here.
I don't know why. Me, I'm coolie girl. That was my, still to this day, still coming. I'm like, please, I'm in public. But when my mom died, I started to him even more. And now I watch him and my son, and then my son is like, all right, Grandpa, I love you. And he'd be like, yeah, love you too. Look at that. Wait a minute. I'm Mr. Daddy, I get soft.
Trust me,
because I still kill him with it. Mr. Daddy, I get soft. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
You know, now, and he said, like, even before I hang up the phone, every night or every morning, I'm like, Dad, all right, I love you. All right, I love you to cooler girl. And I'm like, wow.
The thing is, sometimes, like, my dad is the same way. Never said it. But guess what?
But it showed you, though.
We know, of course. We know that. We know.
But you want to hear it.
Yeah.
Of course. For me, to be honest, I don't.
You know what's so
Why? Because you're a man, you don't want to hear
No,
it?
because we're not used to it. It's cringing now.
It's cringing.
Because
Oh, you mean like from your dad? Hearing it from your
I'm
dad?
31, about to be 32.
So you don't want to hear say love, can you 31?
No, because after so many years of
Oh, you got used to it.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
You're used to that treatment
Okay.
so much that it's like, we know.
It becomes normal for you.
I tell people all the time that my dad, you know, my dad is in Jamaica, and I left Jamaica when I was 3. And every time I talk to my dad, oh, I got send for you. Not one day did I get a penny, right? My dad decided to live his life, and, you know, but the only thing that kept me attached to him was him saying, I love you. Because if he did not say that, I wouldn't give a 2 shits about him to this day. That was the only thing.
That kept that emotion.
That kept that emotion.
And to the men watching, how you treat your daughters is very, very important.
Very.
Every little detail matters.
Every detail.
Don't tell her you're gonna pick her up, and don't
Show up. What?
That
Listen.
affects them.
Ooh, my
just
kid's
as much.
father was big in that.
Ooh.
My kid's
Don't
father
ever
was
He
make
did
them
that.
promises.
Yeah.
And don't
And don't
show
do
up
it.
for them promises.
But then I was so, like, my husband, like, he just, listen. Even now, even yesterday, we were on the phone driving the sands, and my daughter called me, and she was talking to us about something, and, you know, so my daughter tell my husband she love him before she even tell me. Yeah, she be like, bye, pops, love you, and I'm just like, hey, mama pushed you out. I pushed you, got a whole cut.
Yeah.
Hello. And she be like, yeah, mom, love you too. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that because even with him, I always say I feel like I married my father, like you stated, because I did not have an emotional husband. And I remember, me kill me love, me love too much.
It's nice, especially when you taste it, you know.
Oh!
It's supposed to be like,
I
Beautiful.
love,
Like, listen, it's 16 years for me, 10 years married, and I'm gonna marry him 10 more times.
You see, the crazy thing about that too is even on the topic, a lot of women, a lot of men don't know what the feeling feels like.
Are you serious, sir?
No, for real. Like the relationship love, a lot of people don't know what it's supposed to be.
Well, maybe, I'm not a man, but maybe one of the things that I see with men is maybe because you're not, you guys, not you, I'm just generalizing, I'm just generalizing men. Maybe because on a don't, watch it two man look at me over there, the three of them. Maybe because I feel like, and this is not every man, but quote unquote men, y'all don't look for relationship. You don't look for one bam thank your mom.
No, not. Let's bring it back down.
Oh, look at here.
Not every man does
She gonna
that.
spark up
And it's just the same way. Not every woman does that one
Correct,
thing.
correct,
I feel like we are in this little bubble where a lot of times we talk about it on the episode before where I've met good people. We have married people on the podcast who are happily married. We had single guys that were genuinely good guys who was looking for a
That
genuinely
wanted like
good
a general
woman.
relationship.
So that exists.
It does.
You get what I'm saying? The negativity is very loud, but that does exist. And I feel like a lot of people don't have a requirement, like a good list to say, this is what the love feels like. I've felt it from my parents or from my dad, or I felt it in this relationship, and this is what the love is supposed to be. Anything that's not there, that's not that, is not the right thing.
I feel like no relationship is perfect. Like I grew up watching my mom and dad, and marriage was marriage for me. Marriage is marriage, and marriage is a commitment for me. Like in today's day and day with all of the different words. I'm sorry, I'm very old school. All the different words. I'm polygamy. I'm this. I'm that. I'm that. Me grew up with man, woman, relationship, get married, committed, whatever, however it is. So I'm still set into that, I guess, old school ways. And I feel like what you're saying about men not experiencing love, I feel like some women are afraid to give that. Like to give that because you don't know what you're gonna get back. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I often even still to this day say it to my husband. I tell him I love you too much. Because I make sure my husband knows that, not just through my mouth, but also through my actions.
The thing is, like I said, a lot of times we don't get the example. So a lot of times.
I mean, from home?
From anywhere. Because even with the love of friends, a lot of times a lot of people hold back.
True.
Not to give their whole self to somebody because they feel like I could be hurt if I do.
And you will be majority of the time.
Exactly. And like a lot of people excuse bad behavior with saying they're not perfect or the relationship is not perfect. A lot of times that is not what it's supposed to be, and you're unhappy all these years trying to make excuses like we're not perfect but we're happy 2 days out of the week.
I'm not saying that relationship.
That's what I'm saying. So a lot of people
it.
excuse that behavior with it's not perfect. And I want to be very careful with using that language because some people are using that language to excuse bad behavior.
True, but reality is no relationship is perfect. But let me tell you, I will not sit here and pretend. Me in my family is called a runaway bride before I got married. What? No, I'm gonna be real.
I know what that means.
Because I am a girl before dating men are I'm ever very shortlisted. Let me just correct that the way I said it a while ago. Like because I fling my dates, but I'm a no tolerance kind of woman. Like if I'm dating Stretch and I lay on the table what I expect out of a relationship when I'm dating, and I expect you to lay out. And if I realize that as we're dating, it's not reaching that plateau where I needed to go.
Yeah, you're out of there.
I'm gone.
You're not getting the fulfillment that you.
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out with the communication to you that you're a really good person. This is just not working for me.
Yeah.
And that should be okay to communicate that. But I feel like women, and I can only speak for us as women, we sit down into things for years expecting that. Perfection or I'm gonna change. You me not perfect, so we can't expect perfection. But we should be able to be on a level of understanding that we're both committed to making that work.
So this
Hold on real quick. I'm so glad you touched on that because when I went to go get my beads fitted today, I was talking to the girl about that, and I was saying that there was a time where I was talking to this guy and I got that equal reciprocity because sometimes when us as women. You know how, like you said, you lay out your foundation, and this is what it is, and you know yourself, right?
Correct.
You're solid in who you are, and you know what you're gonna take. You have your boundaries, your non-negotiables, and all these things. A lot of women don't have that.
I know everybody needs a little motivation sometime in life. Whether you're in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, or even an adult going about your everyday life. Everybody needs a little information, a little education, and a little motivation. So you need that from somebody who's educated, somebody who's awesome, somebody with the information, and somebody who can give you everything you need. Shan, who's that person we're talking about?
Give me the mic with Faye Bailey. You can reach her on Instagram at FayeBailey80 or online at hitsinc.org. Okay, she has been traveling, speaking with many different audiences, and just pouring a lot of information and motivation on a lot of people. And she is also a scholar of Toastmasters, so you know she is in there and she knows everything, every detail to give you all the motivation that you need. So remember, you can reach her at FayeBailey80 or hitsinc.org for any event that you want to book her with. She will come through and she will light up the stage. And they stick around, they stick around in it, and they overpour, and then when they look, their cup is empty, but the guy's cup is full.
It's full.
You know, and
Correct.
that's, you have to have that, this is not working, and that's where it goes back to when I spoke about speed dating. I used to be like, why people do speed dating? That's weird.
Yeah.
Because in speed
You don't
dating,
have no time.
you're like, okay, this.
You don't have time for real.
Oh yeah, this is not working. Okay, that's not what you do. Okay, that's not, okay, cool, next. You know, a lot of people think, oh, well, I could change them, I could this. No, you gotta know that there is someone there for you. Don't waste your time in this space.
And then the problems I've realized also, not to cut you,
No, go ahead.
is you introduce me to somebody. Down the road,
It's not the same person?
It's somebody else that I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you just try to, you know this is how it's supposed to be. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be cordial, nice, and then the real you starts coming out, and you
Yeah.
wonder why now I'm detaching from you even more.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even a guy, for instance, you're taking this girl to the most expensive restaurant on the first date. You're setting a
Right.
standard.
So she got stuck in that expectancy.
You bought her flowers the first week. Why the next 2 weeks to 3 years down the road?
Yeah.
There's no flowers.
That's true.
That whole
Right.
3 years. Then you wonder why she's disconnected.
True.
A lot of times, those requirements that we have, people meet them on the first try or the second week.
But you know, the first couple of dates are the impressive dates, I would like to say, the impressive period.
Yeah.
But like I said, me always put out my expectations,
Lay down the line,
and
yeah.
I consider run away right
Yeah.
away. If I see it's not going, because I don't believe in wasting people's time.
Man.
And even when I was much younger, I used to look at it like, this is a waste of time for me, and I would move on. And I remember somebody I dated said, if my book is like I'm run, you come like a man. And for me, it wasn't even that. It was just morely knowing what I deserved, what I needed. I saw my mother work so hard. I saw my mother did not, they had a great marriage, but they never traveled and stuff like that. I wanted a partner that, I wanted all of that, you know, and can I tell y'all no lie, y'all heard of Sierra prayer?
Yes.
Me not make it up. I'm gonna anybody know me prayer tell me before Sierra even dropped that prayer there. I asked God for what I wanted. Someone want a nice brown skin rasta man. You stretch out, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm
Travis, you know me tell that. But I tell you, me write it after. And my children's father is not a bad person. So if you watch this, you know, I'm not hate you. I just not like you. but anyway, but seriously, because I gave wonderful kids. But I write what I want. I say I want a nice medium skin rasta man. God make sure say him militant like my husband. I mean, excuse me, like my father. Make sure him militant like my father. I don't want no argumentative man. But I want a man that will love me unconditionally, Father, the way you love me or even more. I want a man, Father God, that wants the same thing. I want to travel the world, make money together, and we're really into each other. I'm going to write it. Stretch, I tell you no lie. I'm going to tell you, say, God answer, everything get check, expect for the one. But the one thing never get checked on. Was we had to work on the communication, which we had to work for over years, because you can't expect perfection.
Yeah.
You know, and I did not come with perfection. I came with the independent, you know, kind of thing.
Speaking on the topic of finding the right person, I feel like even with this topic, I'm gonna keep going back to this topic where we go through so much personal stuff, and instead of taking the time to fix your damn
Fix you.
self.
Yes.
Before you decide you want to go mix your energy with somebody.
Somebody else.
You know what I'm saying? Then now you, with your bad energy and all this trauma that you haven't dealt with, now you have a child.
Now you have a child.
That you pass it on all of this
all
to.
that energy,
and
yeah.
this child don't know how to process none of this because it's not her experience, it's yours.
Yeah.
And then her kids got it. And in order for them to reverse that,
So it becomes a generational curse thing.
in order for them to reverse that, they have to go put extra
They're
work in.
working.
So you're a selfish person.
Jesus.
Some people just don't know better, but
No,
yeah.
The way I'm saying it, selfish person.
And that is why I always say to people, the people come to me, yo, why you don't have no kids yet? I'm like, is it a race?
You know, one of my closest friends went through that. She's your age. Well, she has a son now the last 2 years. But she went through the same thing, and people were like, oh, you know, I have an opinion, I have an opinion. And she was like, what is it, a race? And she was like, I'm waiting for the perfect partner. Or somebody that's even close to it because she did not want to just have a child to have a child, you know?
And then you run to have a child with anybody now, your whole generation that you were supposed to be creating is out of whack.
Out of whack, for real.
You get what I'm saying? Because now, me and you are not compatible. So now you're baby mother and baby father. Now we're fighting every day.
I hate that word.
That's what it's
I
gonna
feel like
turn
my
into.
daughter's dad, my daughter's father.
Right.
Oh, no, I don't say that. That's my sperm donor.
Now you can't compare it.
It's true.
And now the child is seeing all that, and children feel energies.
That too.
Yeah, they do.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Man, they'll be sleeping and you come in the room and they're like,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's
and still
what I'm saying.
sleeping.
And
They
a part,
feel it.
and part of what Stretch is saying, we also need to understand, because one of the things that I know I went through is that when I separated from my kid's father, I remember that, you know, when you're going through what you're going through of starting over and all of that, you don't think that's affecting your children because we tend to say, I pitney.
Yeah.
Them not feel it. They do.
Yeah, they do.
He's 100% correct.
Yeah.
They know,
It
they see
changes
that,
everything.
they feel
Yeah,
that.
it changes
And
the demographics of everything.
You don't know what separation does to a child.
Ooh.
Separation traumatizes a child, no matter how young they are.
But it traumatizes you too as an adult, you know?
Yeah, of course it does.
Because you have to remember, like for me, I was like right out of high school for me and bam. You know, and for me, it wasn't, gosh, I don't know if I'm ready to say that now.
Yeah,
But
leave it alone.
and listen, I gotta leave it alone.
If you're not sure, just leave it alone.
Better leave it alone. But it does.
What I hate so much is this culture that we have, especially as Jamaicans, where everyone's supposed to have a youth by a certain age or by a certain
Talk to me nice.
time. Why are you rushing to do that? You know, as this person, first of all, you're not wealthy. You don't have any wealth to pass down. You don't have good emotions. You don't have good habits.
You haven't taken care of you yet.
Yeah, exactly. But you want to have kids with he, she, and the old lady, being a father to none of them. All you're doing is just breeding her, giving her one.
A sperm
There's
donor.
no family
And then
dynamic.
you're
There's
walking
no
around telling
household
everybody,
dynamic.
oh, I have 5 kids.
I'm a baby mother.
Yeah, you have 5 kids with these 5 women, and you're father to none of them.
None of them.
I cannot respect you for that.
No.
And then you're gonna look at me as a man and tell me I need to hurry up and have kids. For what?
No rush to
You
it.
get what I mean? You're part of the problem.
My mic went? Oh. And what's the thing with them called? I saw it on the podcast the other day. I think it was The Fix. And they were talking about the same thing like that too. Like he was saying that he wasn't in a rush. Jay Frazier, whatever his name is. He was saying he was not in a rush for it because he's waiting.
Right.
My husband said that all the time too, and so did real men. I call them real men that I know because I feel like what Stretch is saying is 100% correct. You don't have to walk on a bag of baby mother.
Yeah.
You wanna really be a father.
You know what else pisses me off? You're a drug dealer, or a bad man, or a scammer. You don't have a stable life, right? Anything can happen to you at any moment, and this child doesn't have a father.
No life insurance.
You know what I'm saying? Not even that. A child needs their parent.
That's true.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you're selfish because you don't have
wanna
a stable
change your
environment
life.
for this child. And you know, even after you have the child, that didn't change you. You're still doing stupid stuff.
You know, some man always have a lot of great respect for you, but now I feel like I like you.
Yeah.
I like your brain.
No, I mean, I go to you sometimes.
Sometimes. So let me ask you a question though. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I know you're sure, but
Of course, we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So why do you feel like you don't want to have a child now?
I didn't say I didn't want to.
Except for what you
I said
just said.
I'm just scared to because of what's happening in the world.
The
And
generation.
also with not being with a partner committed as yet, you can't just randomly go have kids with just anybody. Because that's just literally you're part of the problem. Because now if mommy and daddy don't get along, right?
I
And
get along with mine.
This is not the ideal situation.
It's not the idea, but it work.
But it doesn't work for everybody.
Not everybody, but it does work.
Sometimes people look for perfection, and I think,
And
I
sometimes
think that's
wait,
what you're looking
sometimes
for.
That's why I'm go there with
I
you.
know what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's why I'm go there with
We
you.
have the conversation all the time. Sometimes it's not perfection. It's knowing exactly what you want.
It is, but you have to understand
Yeah,
this
with
too.
kids,
I'm
boy,
sorry.
go ahead.
You have to understand. Let me tell you something. Like for me, I always thought I was gonna be a person that had one pitney, and I lied to you. Everybody that knew me know that, because me don't even know how much don't like. Not that I don't like children, guys.
Yeah.
I was just never a.
I'm gonna have one.
I want to have 10. You know what I'm trying to say? And for me, it's like out of high school, meet somebody. You know, like for us, it wasn't planned.
Right.
So here, my thing is, it's not ideal. And my kid's father is a great person, but it's not the person that
was for you.
was for me.
Right.
So the ideal situation is that you can be a man and step up and do what you need to do, or you can be a mother and step up and do, but not everything works like that. But it can still work out.
Of course it can.
I mean, it can still work
But
out
the
because not everybody's gonna get that fairy tale life.
The problem is, even in your situation, having kids so young, a lot of people are not mature as yet. They're literally kids having kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're 17, 18, having your first child. You don't even know how to exist as an adult as yet.
Child.
Your brain as a female doesn't develop until you're 25.
That's true.
So you know, it's funny. I'm going to challenge you a little bit with that, because I got a download from God a few years ago, and my great grandmother started having kids at 13. Yeah, and
She never have no TV.
but then I took it out of the physical realm, not the physical realm, but I took it out of what society says, and I said, okay, well, if us as women and men, we go through puberty at 12, 13, 14 to where we're at childbearing ages, right? Society has made it so that that's not the age to have it, because you're not mentally old enough to whatever. But my grandmother went and had these kids at these ages. I think she had about 6 or 7, and obviously we multiplied. So as she grew, generations grew with her. She was able to see her great grandchildren, and she was able to have them. I was taking care of my grandmother at 11 years old, wiping her butt and doing all these things. So I think that there's never a time where it's like, the world is this, the world is that. My grandmother grew up struggling. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? But they still made a way. I think it's just knowing that you have life, and even if you and the person aren't together, we can still co-parent in a healthy way and grow this life.
So
you know what I mean?
So let me challenge you now a little bit. With now, that's a rare case.
Very.
You get what I'm saying? That is not a popular case. With the percentage that happens, it's not popular.
No, but I'm just saying that as age-wise.
I know what you're saying, but I'm telling you, in that case, most times you see kids having kids that young, the grandparents takes care of the kids, not them. So
What you mean?
Sometimes.
what I'm saying that you have kids, most times.
That's today's time, you mean?
Yeah, I'm like even with having kids,
that's
that
true.
child at 13. You're not even finished with high school. You're not taking care of that child.
I don't even like to hear stories like that at 13. I feel bad.
Hold on. So a lot of times, like I said, the majority, if you realize now, you see some little kids running around doing certain things now. And at our age, when we were at that age, we could never do that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, and I know the age don't really have anything to do with it, but I just think you as say right now you was to have you impregnate somebody. You would be an amazing father.
Yes.
Of course.
You're very structured. You know who you are. It doesn't matter if the mother y'all don't get along, but I know you'll know how to choose the right person that you rock.
That is.
But sometimes
You know what
you
I'm
don't
saying?
get to choose, guys.
And sometimes you don't,
because sometimes it slip.
Right.
You don't get, listen to me. It's a very.
No, that's true.
Right.
Sometimes.
That's true.
Sometimes you don't get to choose because I never chose.
And it's God's plan.
But knowing
It is God's plan.
Knowing Stretch,
But-
he not gonna lay down with just anybody.
That's my point.
You know, but I know that even if you do slip or whatever, you will still, God is gonna make it so that you know how to raise a child no matter how.
I think what one of the problems is people not knowing, like, thinking about consequences.
True.
A lot of times.
True, but you have to understand in a Stretch. Let's be real. I know you go to therapy and stuff and that, you know. But let me just keep it real. When you're then at the ding, 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 you're not thinking about consequences.
Right.
No, a lot of times,
Men-wise. I'm not a man, you're a man. But, I mean, let's just be real. When a man gets a woman where they want whatever, you're not thinking that at that moment, well, if my breeder, the consequences, that you're not going to think that. Me not believe you. Me
Not in the moment. Maybe
don't believe
after,
in at the moment.
maybe after it's done.
Don't believe in at the moment. So you're going to tell me, say, because you're a podcast, you're going to tell me, say, you don't know the ning, 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 ning. So unless I... Listen to me, guys. People know me.
Unless it's not getting what it's
supposed to get. Don't want to go there.
know.
Because you cannot tell me unless you're not getting, you're not in it good. Because if you're in the ding, you cannot tell me what upon your mind while you're upon strokes. I was the circumstances. Stop it.
I'm gonna tell you what goes through my mind.
Tell me what goes through your mind.
Even if I had condom, I'm still pulling out.
Yeah, so then, but no. But what I say is, you're not.
No, but that's what those are the consequences of not wanting to get somebody pregnant.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's the consequence you're thinking about.
Even as a woman,
you're not thinking about that whole long life.
I'm saying. You're never that thinking that. You're never that thinking that. I might be thinking about he gonna pay the light bill, but I'm never thinking. But I'm not. Yeah.
We're not thinking about the light's gonna cut off. You know, we're not thinking about none of that. I'm thinking about you about to get pregnant, so I'm pulling out. That's what I'm thinking about in that moment. You get what I'm saying? Okay. And like Elle said, the choice. Make the right choice. If this person gets pregnant, then you have nothing to worry about.
Wow. Another 20, 30 years of dealing with that.
My point exactly. And that is why I'm very careful with my choices that I make. Because I see, like, you know what's the best birth control for me?
Wow.
Seeing my friends' kids drive them crazy. That is the best birth control.
Listen, I'm honest. Kids are a blessing.
Of course.
When I was younger, I had my kids young. I'm glad for it now.
Yeah. And my nieces and nephews, I love them so much. Give me them for like 30 minutes.
Are you ready to go?
You can have them back.
Yeah. Listen, and I think even with my kids, raising my kids, I didn't have problematic kids. But even like right now, even sometimes like being around my friends with their kids, after 20 minutes, I'm ready for go. And they'll look at me like, Sophie, we have kids. And I say,
because you raise them differently.
My kids are militant.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not like, even my twins being 18 right now, and I think you've met my boys. And sometimes they're around people and they'll be like, Ma, we could never, we would never do that.
And the fact that they could be able to say that means they were
raised properly.
I'm gonna send y'all the link to the podcast with them, and it was so
the podcast.
It was Shooty Talk.
Yeah,
it was so impromptu because I was waiting for a guest to come, and he was just one of my sons was just sitting here, and my producer is big up himself, Gio, a Chinese guy, a Chinese guy, right? And he liked to say when he first met me, I'm so very well spoken and stuff, and he said I went to my husband's party one day. And he's like, I was like, who the hell is that? I turned into somebody else in patois. So we were sitting here and just having a conversation, a regular conversation, me and him. I did not know the camera was not rolling. And then Gio said, Sophia, you mind I turn the camera on? Keep talking. And that's literally how it happened. And he said, it's rare to see that type of relationship with mothers and sons.
Oh yeah, that's very rare.
You know, and then I thought to myself, it's rare? And then another time, no cameras, an older friend of mine, she's in her 60s, and she came in the store, and me and my son the whole reasoning. The same one I told you that I could relate to. And I saw her take out her phone, and she was like, videoing. I said, what are you doing? You like my outfit or something? And she said, no, stuff it at rear. She said, put your son. And then she said to me, I wish I had that with my son. And I thought to myself, okay, then I'm just not a bad mom. I'm not a bad mom.
You just pat yourself on the
I did good. Yeah.
That's nice.
But we went way over time.
We went over time?
Well, that's what you get for inviting me on the show.
No, that's
what you get for inviting me on the show.
That. We like that when we go over time, and that means conversation was good.
But this was an excellent subject, guys.
Yeah.
Except for making me cry. I messed up my makeup. You know, Tretch, you made me do my makeup now?
Yeah, I know.
Your makeup still look good though.
I want to give her a big shout out because she always supports us all the time, every single time.
I love you guys though.
Yes, she does.
You and your bro. And I admire both of you for.
I appreciate it.
It's hard to stick together as siblings in such a.
It's hard to stay together.
Listen, I wonder how you guys do it because it's really hard.
We grew up like twins though, so we were raised like twins.
You know, but you guys, my father's a twin. Well, my father's brother just died last Thursday, but my father's a twin, and same thing. My father's tall, and his twin brother is like.
But we're not actual identical twins.
I know, but I say,
Yeah,
remind
raised
me of them.
Yeah.
Very good.
And they people don't know we're actual same mother, same father. Grew
You
up in the
are?
same house. Yeah.
So who's the tall parent?
I'm the oldest.
No.
My dad
Out of
is
your
tall.
parents, your dad? Okay.
But my dad, I'm about a little bit taller than him though.
So y'all really same mom, same dad?
Yeah.
I never do that, but I gotta admit, I like Brad better than you.
I'm fine with that. At least somebody does.
No, I think what it is for me is I've always had a relationship with him more than you.
Before,
you and I is just, hi, Stretch, how you doing,
Yeah,
Stretch?
I keep it
And then,
pushing.
but I'm glad I'm going to sit down with you today. Can you have a brain?
Of course.
But think you know that girl is now.
No, I mean not either. Don't do that.
Listen.
She's lying.
I am not lying. Listen, I'm as popular as you are in the dance hall. You know
I
that,
know what
right?
you're talking about.
Know what I'm talking about. So for me, with Brad, with his brother, I always had that other business relationship, but we got close together over the years doing business together with all my fashion shows. But with you, it was always high by or on the play music for me and my husband events, and we support you guys and you guys support. But I never had a conversation with your brain.
I know.
Because, I cannot curse on this because YouTube will block us. But I always say to men, I always say to men, whether you're friends or not, you have to F my brain
Yes.
before you can think about anything else.
Sapiosexual.
I'm there now. I'm actually there now with women too.
Oh, you
Yeah.
are? That's a wonderful place to go.
Yeah.
You see, when you go there, you will find the right partner.
woman.
Because if I cannot have a conversation with you as a man, I'm talking about a conversation where there is no uncomfortability.
Right. Yep.
There's no
I
way.
always
There's
say
no
that.
way I can reach that stuff.
Right.
I always say they're dumb as a doorknob, but they're pretty as hell. Tell you that.
I know that- I know that chicken know most of the time.
It does. Don't for me because even I don't want to get into that. episode.
You know, I want to do, me, I got carry up on my podcast because we're going to get down and dirty.
Yeah, we are.
Because, let's say, this is a live class and we're teaching and we got,
Yeah, this is-
a pastor,
Oh yeah, shout out to Pastor Donovan.
Big up yourself, Pastor Donovan.
Yes.
Because you
We're not
are,
getting there, please don't.
Pastor, what church you go to, Pastor Donovan? Because you teach me something I don't know
His book
today.
is called What the Bible Has to Say About Oral Sex.
What is it called?
What the Bible Has to Say About Oral Sex, and y'all can go ahead and purchase it. I'm not fully agreeing with it, but hey, go ahead and support it. Anyways, in closing, we're gonna go to the topic of discussion.
I like that one though.
All right. Hey everyone, if you are here in South Florida, please check out Skyless Hair Studio. That's SKYLYST, where we specialize in hair care, locks, colors, cuts,
You can
all
do
that
mine
good
too?
stuff. Yes, we definitely do men's hair as well. Okay, so we are here in Tamarack, Florida. Check us out and we'll take care of all your hair needs.
So where can they find you?
You can find us at CEO YourLife_Skyless Hair Studio on Instagram or online at skylesshairstudio.com.
Hey.
All right. So today we are talking about DJ Envy
Yes.
and
So DJ Envy and Rick Ross had a back and forth. And so basically in the back and forth, he was saying that Rick Ross, what's his friend's name again?
Gunplay.
Gunplay.
I like gunplay.
His wife and him and his wife's son, I think, or daughter, one of them was in the hospital and she put up a GoFundMe. So Envy went back at Rick Ross by saying you didn't take care of your friends. You
I didn't see
why
that
they had to put up a GoFundMe if you're so rich and you're such a boss? Why? So do you guys think that even though you have money, right, and you have friends, do you think that that's like a requirement or
Yes.
a responsibility
Yes.
to make sure your friends are good?
Yeah.
Yes. This is a me wash your hand kind of thing. Like with me
Yes.
and my friends, we have my husband too with his friends. I feel like if I'm in a situation where I can't help myself right now, and you say I'm a friend, yeah, it shouldn't be me. I have to make a phone call, Stretch.
Right.
Can you? Hey girl, what's up? No, you should, and that's the friends I have in my life. That's something like older friends. I don't
I
like
have a lot of older friends,
I
too.
don't have friends that are my age. I really don't. I have older friends because the mentality, the mindset is already
different.
there for that. It's very different. So yes, I am agreeing. It should have stepped in.
Yeah.
No GoFundMe.
What you think, Sean?
Yeah, I think so too. I think he definitely should have said something. I think what made it
Don't
bad.
get me wrong, I thought he actually did though. I think he said he actually did.
Ross?
Yeah, I think he actually did.
I think with Envy, I think he should have never just said it like that when he doesn't really know what's going on.
I don't think he actually said it in detail. He was just going at Ross and saying you should take care of your boy.
Yeah.
You should take care of the people around you if you're
and did you hear?
What
Did
did
you hear?
Charlamagne have to say about it?
He was saying the same thing that we're saying.
Did you hear the conversation that they had on the phone?
Yeah. That's what the conversation started from.
Yeah.
From the whole phone conversation. He was like, I didn't go at your people. He was just saying to Ross, why is it that you have a friend that's so close to you that has to put up a GoFundMe in the situation? He didn't say what the situation was. He didn't go into detail.
You know what, too? And then I think he was saying that, Gunplay was saying that, the wife wasn't trying to wait on that or whatever. She was just in panic mode and she was like, we just.
Yeah, but he did. Nobody knows that. But at the end of the day, I feel like in a situation like that, you don't even have to ask.
Right.
As soon as that happens,
you're supposed to go into
I'm friends,
especially if it's your real friend. Especially if it's your real friend.
First of all, if I have it, I feel like my close people have it.
Have it, yeah.
I'm that girl too.
I'm making sure Rick Ross has a bunch of Wingstops. I'm gonna give you one. Me and you been rolling for years. I trust you. All right, here's a Wingstop. This is for you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever revenue comes in from this, that's you and your family.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of times you don't give your people around you money. You give them opportunities.
You give them opportunities. That's true.
If they fail at that opportunity, that's all on them.
That's all on them.
You did your part.
Yeah.
Big up yourself, Rick Ross. Do better. Yeah.
That's not only Rick Ross. It's a lot of people, and I feel like even with some of these artists, the Jamaican artists especially,
please.
you have 100 men. You have 100 men behind you.
Yeah.
Every single
Entourage.
day.
Oh God.
The entourage.
That ain't doing nothing for you.
Exactly.
Right. I'm saying to you, start a security company.
Right.
Have them
Put them to work.
Bodyguards.
Yep.
Pay them. Let them bodyguard.
It goes back to the conversation when I mentioned to you earlier when I said about the whole what you call it thing. But look at me, I'm about to wrap up the episode like it's mine. I feel like he should have definitely stepped in. But I feel like there's more to the story that we're not.
Of course.
There's always more behind the scenes that we don't know about.
What he was saying afterwards was he actually did step in after the fact.
I can't say Rick Ross and step in, because Rick Ross move like a Jamaican.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that from personal
experience.
My brother washes his cars. Listen, him is a good nice man. Him give good nice tips. Keep tipping my brother.
Right.
I have a friend that's he's not a friend. He's like a brother to me. My real brother died, as you guys know, but he's like my brother, and he washes their cars. Khaled, I tell you, said them. Maybe not Khaled, but Ross is definitely. I think there's more to the story.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely.
Yeah,
he's a very good guy, very good guy, and he look out for his people.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of times, especially seeing, because even Curly talked about it on his podcast where he was talking about this entourage that's rolling behind you. They're not asking you for anything, but they're expecting you
to.
They're leeches. Let's just be real, Stretch. Use a big DJ. Yeah, tell the truth, them a leech.
Right. That's what they're doing.
They do.
The hype.
They do, and it's all for the hype.
Right.
It's all for the hype.
Then you wonder why a lot of these entourages turn on them because it's I'm rolling with you every day. I'm not working for anyone.
But there's no true friendship dynamic there. They just rolling behind them.
They want to kill you up.
And then when they diss him, they really want to take what you got.
Yeah.
Because every day you're in this big chain and big car, and they got to go home to tell their baby mama that I don't have any money.
So immature.
So who you rolling with a big artist and you ain't got no damn money?
So immature.
That don't make no sense. So I feel like you create opportunities for the people around you. If you're around me and you're not trying to build and do something with, I don't want you to be hanging out.
Sure.
I hate pointless conversations. I hate just wasting time. I hate laziness.
Right.
Unproductivity.
Yes. So if you're an entourage member, you better own some real estate.
Yeah, do something.
You better have something going on.
But one, if you are an entourage member and you own real estate, you don't want to be an entourage member. You're
right.
supposed
The reason why I said that is you're supposed to have something going on.
Something going on. Something going on besides tailing behind somebody that's a.
I don't even like the word entourage. It just gives groupie or.
That's what it is.
What it is.
She just said it.
But it is. It's legion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's legion. It's like even last night going up into Sands and you see 10 people coming through the gate, whatever, and with the
artists,
the name brand, the designers, and all of that. And one I wanna share a champagne buckle.
Right.
So the money we spend by that $800 sneakers day.
We're never going to talk about the bottle.
Like are we serious right now?
We're going to talk about life itself.
I feel like, and then when you look, they're not 18 or 19-year-old people. These are grown ass men.
My sister said something to me one time. She said, I'm not parking a Benz in front of an apartment. So that's what she said to me.
That is so facts. That is so facts.
When I wanted to buy my new car, she was like, I'm not parking this new car in front of no
That is so
apartment.
facts.
I'm gonna take this money and figure out how to buy a house. And to me, that hit a nerve because I waited until we got the house to get that new car.
Yeah.
And it should have hit you, and I'm glad it did.
You get what I'm saying? Other people would take that as a bad thing.
Right.
I took it as
Constructive.
That makes sense.
Constructive. It makes sense.
I'm not wearing a $2,000 shoes. That's not my style.
Right.
Because I'm always gonna think about what I could invest in.
But may I wear it?
Yeah.
You know, but you better be able to fly. That's what I'm gonna
But
say.
may I wear it?
You better be able to fly.
I'm not a, it does not have to be designer for me. I'm just overall a fashionista.
It just likes to look good.
If I like
You
a
wanna make it
shoes,
look good.
yeah, I don't care if I 20 cents.
But the thing is, for me, I always look at the overhead. You understand? I'm not gonna, if I could afford it, cool.
But here's how me look at it. Well, one, yes, I finally got, I thank you, Father. We're at a place where we're comfortable, we can't afford what we want. But not where I want to be, but I'm okay. But me look at one thing. One of the traumas, or the thing I learned from the traumatic experience of my mom dying is live your life, buy what you want. My mother worked very hard and she left everything for our kids then. And she wouldn't take days off of work at the hospital and stuff like that because she was just a workaholic. And one of the things, the greatest lesson that she's left me with, and I continue to say that to everybody that come into my store, because my store is more than shopping, I do therapy in my store. And I say to people, live your life, because some people will come in, I like that black and white shirt, but let's not get the pants for now. But come here if I could pay the light bill. You're dead tomorrow, FPL still like a billion.
I'm gonna push back on you just a little bit with that, because I understand what you're saying. I do. The thing is with a lot of people, especially nowadays, they don't want it.
Women don't want it.
They only want it because they see somebody else.
Oh, because you missed it, okay.
They're programmed.
The mindset, okay.
They're programmed to say, I need this, when they actually don't.
But the commercials sing it. What me need it?
No, but the thing is, there's people who can afford it.
I hear you, I hear you.
But
I
there's
hear
people
you.
that just force themselves to get it.
It's true, because it's a follow back thing. It's a follow back thing.
So if you can afford it, fine, ball out, live your life. But you're not getting this thing because you really want it. You're getting this thing because I saw Raj in this great Gucci shoes, and with the looks he's getting, I want that.
I just think design is so boring. But
It is kind of boring.
For me,
Yeah,
me
I don't
personally, like
care
I
for
said, I own a lot, and I do own a lot, but they're gifting. They're gifting. But I'm not fancy about, it has to be Gucci, Versace, or whatever. Me just love fashion overall.
Yeah.
You know, that's just me. But me truly believe in, I truly believe in, and again, after my mom passes, I'm a stickler for it. I believe in it. I don't withhold anything from myself. I do not withhold. I don't care.
Yeah.
I do not, because...
I know, the other problem is, people think about living life as buying expensive stuff.
That's not right.
But you wouldn't spend your last dollar.
My last dollar on designer?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Some people
that's what
do
I'm
that.
talking about.
Hell
Some
no.
people do
And
that.
then-
But me spend my last dollar on travel.
That is what I was getting to.
Yeah, that's
But
different
travel.
to me. Yeah,
I
that's
think
an
that's so
experience. That's a
live.
life experience.
There's so much people that never been outside of Florida.
And it's spending their money on designer.
No, me spend my last dollar on travel and tell FPL, say you're
Yeah.
gonna get paid when you come back.
Right.
No, listen, it might sound like whatever to y'all, but I'm
gonna
telling
live your
y'all,
life.
I've always been a structured girl, pay your bills, high credit score, da-da-da. But I'm telling you this, I learned not only to my mother, through how I see people live their lives, people stress so much about bills. You see, after my mother died, still the bills, them still have come out of the house.
Yeah.
To this day, I was having this conversation with my dad 2 days ago. Still have bills coming in her name. My mother had credit score, she had everything. She bought a $100,000 truck before she died, and she was not a splurger. My mother was a furniture person.
Right.
Every month you go in the house, that furniture
That's
change.
interesting.
And I am, see, and everybody have them own little fetish.
Right.
My husband, particular, me's a wig girl.
Yeah.
I own 230 wig.
Wee.
Where I want to say. So, but
Your husband gets to see a different side of you all the time.
But
I love
listen,
it,
and I
yeah.
tell my husband every day, if you ever care, me go to court, me say my beard, me wipe you out. Because me gonna tell the judge, me give him everybody, me give him Nicky Merlin, stuff.
Everybody, yeah.
Everybody.
But for me, I'm a wig person. You should have never invited me to the show.
We want this.
I am a wig person.
Yeah.
So for me, I love to be different.
Yeah.
And it's not about impressing a man. I love it. I love go home and be somebody else's theme.
Yeah.
And it's not only just for my husband, because I've always been this person. You should know that, been around me for years. But I invest in my wigs are investment. By the way, y'all go follow Ego Wig Rentals, because we're renting out all my wigs. But I love having that. So everybody have something else with them. Like my husband is a shoe person. So when they said to me, well, baby, I spent $400 on ear. I said, well, you spend $800 on shoes. You listen to me, sir. But then he'll say, but I have my shoes for I have my hair for that long too. But for me, I think if you work hard and you love something, stop letting bills hinder you from living your best life. Because tomorrow, stretch when you drop down dead, tomorrow people them come fight over your money where you kill yourself for work and save. And I'm gonna tell you not to save. I save. But I am telling you, when my mother passed, it was such a, she left everything to her. Listen to me carefully. So I say this in the best way possible. One of my greatest lessons is that she always wanted to travel, take her kids and grandkids on cruising. No, I can't take off the time, I can't take off the day. No.
Right, that is the part where she spoke on.
I am so excited when my husband said, let's book a trip and just go. All for the bush, you want to carry me. And nothing else, not going to the bush. Let's go.
Let me tell you something, traveling, especially traveling and doing what I love, that shit is...
I feel like a teenager when I travel with my husband and you can't talk to me.
No, that's
I not even have a bikini body, but I have a bikini.
No, just traveling overall.
And the difference between traveling and buying designer is that when you travel, it's a mental, it's an experience.
It's an experience and memories.
Yeah, you get to detox, you get to, think better, reset. It's a whole different experience.
It's a whole entire experience. And so for me, I believe in this. Listen, save your money, do what you want. But when you're dead and Uncle Sam come take up that money there, listen. I know
but the thing is also, what I always tell people, because I'm a person, investments make me happy. Investing in things make me happy. And I want to be able to say, if I should go, all of this that's saved up, the kids, the grandkids, the nieces, the nephews.
I'm glad that stretch tapped into that. So all on the email talk about my week, them remember someone telling some of my tree life insurance. I remember, and listen, I am a business owner of 4 companies. Remember, I'm an Airbnb owner. I am just like you. Well, my husband is the investment person. I'm just like, for show up and decorate it. You know, but I will tell you guys the truth. And my biggest lesson I'm gonna leave you out today before I thank you for inviting me to your podcast. Number 1 is please live on a life. Life is short.
Yes.
Life is short.
Losing my friend told me that.
I had a client at 20. She died at 28 years last month. 28 years old. Died in her apartment for 2 weeks. And nobody found her for 2 weeks. And she's not my friend. God forgive me. She is my client, but she was one of those person that came to my store and became like I was like therapy for her. And they never found her for 2 weeks. And the last conversation I had with her in October. I played this back in my head why I just did that because I felt like I could have done more had I taken the time. She had lost her mother. And she was going through this thing where she was like, she was talking so bad about God, like blasphemy and in my store. And I don't tolerate that. I'm big on God, y'all. I play around, I joke, I'm fashionable, but I'm not King of Kings, I'm a Don. And she came in the store and she was just like, the person I knew over 8 years of shopping with me was not the same person that was in front of me.
But you saw that.
And I saw that. And it was like, I'm dressed in her, and she was just like, no, God no exists, and, and Sapphire, but, and I was just like, instead of taking the time to really know, like, how did she,
get there?
I did not. I will be honest with myself, and that bothers me to this day. I said to her, listen to me, if you ever come in my store and talk about there's no God, don't do it. Because I listened to her for like 10 minutes, roar about it, and I didn't say nothing. I was just, come on, okay, I'm gonna dress you, let's go. And she just kept going hard on it. And I was like, no, we can't go do this. I'm gonna say, so if God not real, all you there so. And, and I was like, listen, I respect everybody's beliefs, whatever you come from, whatever the universe, Muslim, whatever.
You have to have a belief.
You have to have a belief. But in my store, when me believe in God,
what happened, though, right?
just no blasphemy.
You know what happened where you kind of missed the mark, like you said, is where she's going through something that you went through.
I missed it.
You missed that mark.
really did.
You could have probably just said, listen, I went through the same thing.
Exactly. I missed it.
Yeah.
And I struggled with that so much with it. Because, like, I saw, matter of fact, it was on Facebook. I saw somebody post, anybody know her picture? Anybody know the relatives of this person? The hospital, the morgue, the morgue needs a family member to claim the body. And I said, what? I might put on my glasses. This could not be this young girl. And then come to find out, and everybody in the comments was saying the same things, that she's changed in the last couple of months, she's not the same. I said, but anybody that take the time for
Oscar,
and I'm say, Safi, did you take the time? I didn't. I was so upset at her blasphemy in God when I literally was mad at him for taking my mom too.
God probably sent her to you.
And I beat myself up with that so much and said, what could I have done?
But don't though. Sometimes when we don't know no better, so sometimes we just never
But that's the thing,
realize
I knew
that.
better.
We never realized in the moment.
I didn't realize at that moment.
That's all it was.
And then if she's never done the work on herself spiritually and whatever it may take, even if you would have said something, you never know, that probably wouldn't even help.
Yeah, but I
either.
take away with that, like she was only 28, and I took away with that, with like, and one thing I realized also, she used to come into the store, and she wanted whatever, a couple of outfits or whatever, and she would say, no, I'm just gonna get this jacket today because, I'll come back and get the red dress later. And she had the money to buy it. It wasn't like she didn't. But she would always like, I don't know, guys, listen to me carefully, and I don't know if y'all gonna get it from me, and that's all right if you don't. I'm good with it. Don't limit yourself. If you work hard, get where you want. Me is going to buy 100 more wigs.
Yeah.
Every year, job 50.
Me is going to buy it.
Yes.
Because listen to me, and even in my living will, I say to my kids, listen, when you bury me, I tell my husband, if you put my wig them and listen to me, I want to go down with them.
Yeah.
All right, Safi. We got about 100 million minutes over time.
Them like me.
We'll close up one more with this segment of
The quote of the day. Okay, guys, so the quote of the day today is, there are wounds that never show on the body that are deeper and more hurtful than anything that bleeds.
That connects right with the topic that we talked
The trauma.
about today. All the trauma that sometimes people don't recognize.
Yeah.
I've seen it in so much people.
What, wounds?
Yes. They don't even recognize that it's there. How you
Wounded.
operate. Like, you see people that has attachment issues. You see people that has anger issues. You see people that don't know how to deal with conflict. All these things are trauma responses. This is how they've been operating for so many years, and this trauma that has becomes their personality. And now that's how it bleeds out. That's the cut in the wound that bleeds out with the habits, the bad habits. Even with a person procrastinating, I've realized that a couple years ago I had to get over that feeling of feeling like I don't deserve. Like, we're getting to this point now where we're getting that successful feeling where you kind of self-sabotage.
Yes, I was big on that.
There's a name for that, another name for that too.
Where it's
Imposter
like,
syndrome.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Imposter
Yeah,
syndrome.
where you basically do things, not even knowingly knowing that you're doing it, to hurt your own self.
Yeah.
And when you realize that, like, just getting up and going to like meetings and stuff like that on time, you would hold yourself back from that, feeling like it's whatever.
Yeah, I deserve it.
Not knowing that it's a form of self-sabotage.
Yeah. Or like if you like was heavy and then you lost the weight and you're like, I'm still not small enough.
Yeah.
You're not giving yourself the credit of, I lost all this pounds.
And
I
even
might
when
not
you
be where I
get
wanna
there,
be.
you self-sabotage to find excuses to say, I'm gonna die anyway, so I'm gonna just eat what I want.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm a drink.
So it's like, that's how it bleeds out.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't know that these are trauma responses. So I tell a lot of people, if it's not therapy, do something.
Something.
You can't.
You have to have an outlet.
You have
A
to
lot
have
of
an
people
outlet
sit
for
in
real.
their trauma so long that it becomes their personality.
Right.
Don't sit with anything. If you're fat, if you're in pain, if you got headaches, whatever it is you have, there's a solution to every problem. You just have to find it.
So do you think therapy is a solution to every problem?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
You have to. If you don't go to therapy and actually use that tool, it's not going to work for you. A lot of people just go, and you're not open and honest with yourself. You don't have to. She's just there to listen. You have to be honest with yourself.
Therapy worked for me for a short time, but I think my biggest therapy, for me, is God for me. Because when I go, and plus I'm a writer, I'm an author. I write books. Yeah, go on Amazon, Suffice You Tea. But my outlet, my therapy is writing. It's writing, because even if I sit in front of you and I talk to you about something, and I'm respectful of everybody's opinions and stuff like that, but you're still gonna feel what you feel.
Right.
So for me, when I write, that's like the biggest therapy.
And that's like I said, there's so much. Like for me, it was just going to the gym.
Gym is the outlet for you?
That is still one of my main outlets. Going to the gym, playing ball, when I'm listening
yours?
to music.
Doing hair.
Doing hair is your therapy?
I realized that.
You make wigs?
I don't make them, I style them. So when I started doing hair, like I said, my aunt was a hairstylist, and being an only child, we talked about this at the friendship episode, that I didn't have siblings and stuff like that. So when I started to do hair, I started to connect with people, and I started to have a love for just people and how they think, and just dissecting their brains and all that stuff, and just learning them. And then the more I started to do hair, I started to understand how I can weed out the clients that wasn't for me and the clients that were for me. So even like if I go in a salon right now, and my clients that know me, they're like, something's wrong. And which I always leave my problems at the door. But some stuff is
They
just
know,
like,
but they know your energy.
you're not perfect. Exactly.
When I have full black hair on my clients, they'll be like, oh,
something's wrong. Yeah.
Because I'm always in color.
They know you.
Sophie, all right?
Yep.
Fashion for me is also another form of therapy for me.
Yeah.
I love getting dressed
You've been doing
up.
this a long
And then
time.
it was confirmed.
What?
You've been doing this fashion thing years.
But
Yeah.
it's me, it's who I am.
That's who she is.
That's who I am. And I think that a lot of people misconstrued that, like, okay, she was, back then when we used to do.
Parties. We're gonna party all the time. You're just up every weekend.
Yeah.
Safia's in an outfit literally.
I'm telling you, I already know. Patricia, I used to see her always at your salon.
I
at
remember
your suite.
this guy I went to high school with. Never noticed him. I was very popular in high school. Never noticed him. Big top nerd, but popular. And I remember one day on my Facebook, I didn't know he followed me for years, and he said, Safia, you ever repeat that outfit yet? And I said, why would he ask me that? I said, why am I write that under this big something? And he said, you ever repeat that outfit yet? Because me I follow you for 8 years, me never see you repeat it. I say, yeah, I repeat my 90. But for me, like fashion, it really is my therapy.
Therapy.
When you look good, for me, when I look good, I feel
better.
hella good. Yes.
What also, and I'm not saying this is you. I don't want you to take it the wrong way. But with a lot of people, them overdoing things sometimes, especially the girls that do their body and stuff like that. Those insecurities stem from childhood, where they try to fill that void with, I'm gonna do this different hairstyle or this different makeup or these
lashes.
Not even lashes, just contacts or this lipstick
So do you think every woman that do them body or wear them something that is about insecurity?
No, not everybody.
Because let me tell you this.
There's no one size fits all for anything.
Correct. One of the reasons why I have never done my body is because of stigmas like that. People think you do your body because you're insecure. I'm a very bold, very confident person. Even when I was 120 pounds, even after 5 kids and 145, I feel like I'm a full-figured woman. I like being a woman now. I'm not like to know. So yes, me feel a little fat. But me feel like it. I like it because, when you're boom back and... I'm sorry. But anyway. No, but for real, I like to be a full-figured woman now because I feel like when you become a certain age, you're a woman, you're a woman. I want to look like a woman. But in what you're saying, a lot of men also feel like because you wear makeup, oh, well, either she's insecure or... No.
Just make you feel good.
If you come in my store on a regular basis, I don't have makeup. And then but I am a fashion stylist. I'm a brand ambassador for my company.
Right.
So people ask my husband that. Guys ask my husband that. Stuffy, because I wear colorful makeup. I'm calm today. Because you're calm last minute. But anyway, not every woman anyways, Stretch. Not every woman does it for...
No, there's no one size fits all.
Not every woman. No. But it is a big factor in today's time.
Yeah. Because especially with not having the love from a parent or something, you try to, you try your best to get those, like even guys, even with a lot of guys spend money on expensive stuff to impress.
And a lot of guys do penile implants.
We're not gonna get there anyway.
Penile implant.
No, seriously.
I never even knew that was a name for it.
And that's a wrap for Stretch. And that's a wrap.
Any final words? Let me give mine first.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So guys, deal with your trauma. Face it head on.
Guys?
Go to therapy.
Guys or
everybody?
When I say guys, I just
Oh, you mean generalism?
generally,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So whatever works for you. Therapy, meditation, working out, writing.
Dealing with that.
You get what I'm saying? Everything, just face it head on. Feel the feeling. Don't distract yourself with alcohol or weed, because a lot of people you see smoking weed back to back, they're trying to drown out something.
Trying to deal with that.
There's a difference between using the product and abusing the product.
Becoming the product.
You abuse the product to drown something out. So guys, instead of self-medicating, actually go get some help. And also, after you get the help, that is when you go into a relationship and want to start a family. Get the help first. Fix you first.
The healthy way.
That is my final advice.
That's your show. You go first.
Go ahead.
My final advice is to acknowledge it. Don't be afraid to speak about it. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody about it. Men, women, whatever it may be, know that it's a thing in the generations that, especially now that we're we're evolving technology and all this thing. And yeah, just know that there's always someone that has been in your shoes and has, been where you are, where you was, or whatever it may be. You're never alone. The world is always revolving. It's the same thing, really and truly, spiritually.
Since the Dark Ages.
Yeah,
Since caveman days.
And all you have to do is acknowledge it. And like Stretch said, go and get the help, speak about it, talk about it. Don't hold anything in, especially when it's eating you up inside.
Right. So far.
What do I have to say? So since they gave you the serious note of it, I'm gonna give you the joyful part of it. Do not hold yourself accountable for, and when I say don't hold yourself accountable, I mean stop suppressing guilt, stop suppressing
Don't take responsibility for everything.
Yeah, don't take responsibility for everything. This world is hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. Live your life. Live your life. Don't be in boundaries. Don't worry about what people got to say. Live your life. Be the best you that you can be. Get the help that you need. And like you said, help can be in so many ways. It could be talking to a friend. It can be expelling an outlet that is getting dressed up. It could be wearing wigs like myself. But on a serious note, though, just get the help that you need. Life is short. Enjoy it. Live it. And just don't dwell on things that you cannot change, but change what you can.
Yeah.
And make sure whatever way you're dealing with it is healthy.
That's healthy.
Yes.
And Shopify is your tea.
Shine, take us out.
Yes. So guys, we are so happy that you tuned in with us tonight. Sophia, you was amazing.
Thank you.
A blessing being on. I was so happy and excited to interview you. I'm like, oh my God, I got so much stories to tell her.
Oh, thank you.
And this episode, it was emotional, it was real, it was authentic, and this is something that we needed to talk about and to also give to the people. And guys, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to chime into the conversations, to share to your peoples, and to talk about these traumatic experiences that we go through. It's healthy for us. All right, so
Leave
thank
it in
you.
the comments.
Yes.
Comment and subscribe.
Yes, comment and subscribe. Thank you. And yeah, we will see you guys next week and later. Bye.
Peace out, man.
Bye, y'all.